used to have some glasses on it, but the vinyl that I used to put these on there was the wrong kind, so they fell off. So, yeah. And I've actually sold 2 beanies, and I have a feeling they might be falling off too, so I'll have to replace those. But no big deal. I will do it, because that's what I do. So anyway, guys, this is a Weird Wednesday update vlog thingamabobber. They're back with a vengeance. A lot of this is because of Caleb over at Tabletop Banter. Had that there's a hashtag "It's Time to Talk" thing, and it's where you talk about your issues and your things, and then like why don't be afraid to talk about your mental health state. I don't have statistics or anything to back up anything saying like 1 in people are suffering from something. I don't have that, but I would say that there are probably a lot of people who are suffering that don't realize it. There are probably people out there who are suffering who realize it and don't want to talk about it. I used to be super open. We all know that. I used to be super open about everything. Weird Wednesdays would be me constantly talking about what's going on in my life and what's happening and things. I had a couple of, we call them episodes, I guess. Suicidal thoughts, I guess. Yes, those were there. They were there. Let's just get that out in the open. Yes, they were there. But I've had some massive depression issues. That kind of ruined my being able to talk about it again. Sorry, today I have a congestion right in my nose. It's kind of hard to breathe out of it. So I do a lot of mouth breathing. And I have a big mouth, so there's a lot of air coming in there. Yeah, so like I said, I've had a lot of issues in the past, several months. Back to the beginning of this year and end of last year again. A lot of last year's issues were me carrying over issues from the year before that around that time period. I guess because it had only been a year later, so I started remembering it again. And it's not like I ever forgot it, but you know, time rolls around and you start thinking about certain things that happened this time, last year, 2 years ago, whatever. It's probably something I'm going to deal with for a while. But yeah, so I suffer with anxiety. I've had that mild social awkwardness my whole life, you know, especially going out in public and stuff. Even when I wasn't in a state that I'm in right now, in a state not like Texas or anything like that, a physical state that I am now. This is probably one of the worst physical states I've ever been in. Puppy dog's over there sleeping and looking at me at the same time. It's weird. And I just don't know how to dig out of it. Try to walk. It hurts. I get out of breath really easy. We went to this thing called the Flower Mound. We live in Highland Village, and there's a city, town next to us called Flower Mound. And they're named after this mound that's in the middle of their city or whatever, village, land of area. I don't know. But anyway, there's a flower mound. It's a mound. We went out there to go watch the moon the other day, the super moon and blood moon at the end at night, whatnot. See the moonrise, and I had to walk up that mound. So granted, I have my wheelchair. I could walk up and push it, lean on it, and stop when I needed to. Got to the point where I was walking up with not holding onto my wheelchair, but just walking, and my wife was pushing it behind me so that if I needed to sit, I would sit. Boy, you hate that, dude. You hate it. Going from a person who could walk, you know, just walk. Get winded, but not like normal. And then normally, normal walks for me would be like, so you're just tired. You walk. So what? Now that super exhaustion, winded, trying to suck air in crap. But anyway, so I made it to the top of the hill. It was great. Making it down the hill should have been easier, but that was still difficult. It's scary difficult, man. Really scary. I started to go, started to have my depressive thoughts again and all this stuff. Depression, it's in there. It's not going anywhere for a while. Not going anywhere for a while? Try a Snickers. I don't know. It's tough, man. It is tough. It is a struggle trying to figure out how to work with it and live with it. And what's funny is, we know I'm on fluoxetine. That's basically a Prozac generic brand or whatever. I take 60 milligrams of that. So essentially I take 3 20-milligram pills a day, each morning. They make me drowsy. So my goal, I try to wake up at 5, take them, and I'll lay back down so I don't have to get out of bed till 6. And hopefully by 6 it kicks in and I'm good to go. I've slept through some of that drowsiness maybe. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I get up and I'm still just as groggy as I was before. But usually I can fight through it and just do what I need to do throughout the day to work on my commissions and my hobby stuff. But what's funny is, I started out with 40 milligrams of that. And then, it was fine for a little bit. And I started having I had more episodes more often of the depression thoughts and all that stuff and the slinking into the darkness. I was still having trouble getting out of that. So she decided to boost me up to that 60 milligrams. And then I feel fine. I don't feel fine. Don't lie to yourself, son. Don't lie. I feel good. I am able to dismiss the thoughts, the negative depressionist thoughts. I still think they're there, but I'm able to recognize the ridiculousness of some of them, the irrationality of some of the thoughts, and dispose of them quicker. Just walk dust it off and move forward. But it's still there. It's still there. I think one of the things I'm struggling with now is I'll talk about it. I'm supposed to talk about it with people, talk about it with my wife and stuff like that. Let them know what's going on whenever I'm feeling that sadness or that depression stuff again. What's up? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And it's to the point now of being on that higher dose of medication. If I bring up anything that I might have issues with or something's happening at that moment, I'm worried that people are going to be like, oh, you just need to up your dosage more. You just need to get on more. You need a higher dosage. Nope, you need more pills. You need more pills. And it's so frustrating. I don't want to go that route. I know. I was like, look, at what point is it somewhat normal? Is it okay? Oh, I'm sad, but I'm okay. I move past it, I have moments of starts to flow worse and worse and get worse thoughts, but does that still need, I need more drugs? I need to put more medicine in me? Let's legalize marijuana. That'd be great. Toke on a joint. I'll be happy. I haven't had that in years, but it would definitely mellow me out. But I don't want to sit there and take so many pills that I'm not depressed, but I'm not me anymore, if that makes sense. And that's what my fear is. And I think sometimes people don't realize that this isn't something that you're going to cure. It's just not a cure. You're not going to be, being depressed isn't just sad. You're not just sad. Oh, you're a sad person. It's okay. Don't be sad. Buck up, little camper. Here's a biscuit. No, it's not how it works. For me, depression is more of a demon that just can constantly take anything happy in any moment I have and make me focus on the reality of the world. Is you win the lottery, cool. Here's $1 million. With that $1 million, there's all this other stuff that could happen negative. Yeah, you got $1 million, so things are a little bit easier. But then you got $1 million, so your taxes are going to go up. You're going to get this. It's about boom, 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 boom. People could come around and harass you and want money from you. All this other stuff can happen. Um, you could turn into a person who has money and who ends up becoming this huge a-hole, you know? It's just all those things. And that's the things I would think about. I would go, oh, but what if now we have this, what are we going to do? Now we have all this money, would it be, here, we'll just go one of my natural thoughts. We get all this money, like billions of dollars, millions of dollars from the lottery or something. What if my family decides that they have all this money, they don't need me anymore? Not like I was giving them any money to begin with, very much money. But then they won't need me anymore, because they can have all this money, they can go have fun, do whatever they want, leave me behind because I can't go have fun that much because I'm sick. Oh, but then we got this money, maybe we can go get me better help. Oh, but will the help work? Will this, that, and the other? It's all that stuff see, that right there was a thought process. That was happening right then and there. That was me starting to dig into that cycle of, here's this, which leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this, which is all turns into one big old stewing pot of despair. So you get stuck in there and you can't get out. It's horrible. I don't wish it on my enemies. I don't have any enemies that I know of. It's tough, man. It is tough. And any of you out there, the best thing you can do about it is talk about it. I know part of that sound earlier was like, oh, I don't want to talk about it because then I get pills thrown at me. But at the same time, talking about it is going to help you understand how some of these thoughts you're having, these depressive thoughts and these oh, excuse me, sorry. These depressive thoughts are, I want to call them ridiculous, but I will say irrational. And it's hard for me sometimes to say, like, is it irrational, the thought that my wife would leave me, would be so fed up with me and leave me? Yeah, and the way our attitude is, and my wife's attitude is, yeah, that's irrational. That's never going to happen. But it's kind of not irrational. It could happen. Anything could happen. See, I'm starting to have some little issues right now. I don't know why. It's kicking. I'm gonna breathe for a second. Okay. Let's get off that irrational thoughts and talking about it, because then it makes me start thinking of some ideas for rational thoughts and making them stick around some. I used to be so numb to everything, numb to the world, the situations, just everything that I have to deal with, and I just couldn't deal with it at all, I still have those moments now, but not, like I said, not as bad. I used to, one thing loved about being a tattoo artist was the fact that I got to get tattoos. And I loved it every opportunity I had to get one, because it was kind of tattoos hurt. They don't feel great. And for me, that was something I needed. Because when I was a kid, I would be in school and stuff, and people, you deal with so much crap from kids and other things like that. You would be so lost. You'd feel like you weren't a real person. Nothing was, you weren't right. You weren't supposed to be here. It's just not, you're not real. This is a dream. This is fake. This is just, it's just thousands of thoughts would flood through your head at once. So I would cut myself. Not to the extreme I've seen cutters do, but I would take a piece of glass and I would rub it across my arm until it scratched me, until I could get that sting, that feeling of pain, to know that, okay, something's right. This is real, So when I got older and I started getting tattoos, that tattoos were kind of like my way out of that. I even helped a young lady fight through her cutting stuff that she had. She was a real bad cutter, scars up and down her arm and stuff. And she came to me with shop minimum was $40 at the time, and she would come to me every chance she had $40 and something was happening, she would do it. It got to the point where I would cut her a deal. I would be like, look, come on, man, just tip me out. I'll help you up. I'll give you a little tattoo, something to help you, because it helped her. It helped her get that feeling she needed of cutting, to hurt yourself, to punish yourself, to feel something. Like for me, it was a cross between punishing myself and feeling something again, knowing that I can still feel things. It's something I haven't talked to a lot of people about. Anybody. I haven't told my wife about this stuff. But that girl, I mean, like I said, I helped her out a lot doing that. To the point where she started feeling a lot better, and she had less and less needs and urges to want to cut herself, But she would still come in whenever she started feeling that way, and I would help her out when I could. Or whenever she came in, I would help her out. Not when I could, because whenever she was in, I could do it. Because I knew what she was going through. I knew that. I knew that feeling of needing to do something to punish herself or feel something again. Mine, like I said, I have had those feelings stirring me before again. Wanting to know what it's like, not feeling real again, not feeling like you're alive, and the day are so sad and depressed that you have to. It's like that lyric, 9 Inch Nails, then Johnny Cash. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. To focus on the pain, that old familiar feel. So it's that. Trying to focus on it and feel that the pain is something that you can relate to, and and you can kind of harness and understand and help you in the wrong way think that all your irrational negative thoughts are reality, I guess, because you're thinking them. And if you're in pain and you feel your pain, you feel your hurt, that's right. I don't know. Anyway, that's something I suffer with. On a daily basis. And here I am playing with a knife. Don't worry, guys. Nothing happening. I haven't cut myself in a really long time. But, well, I take that back. A cat got me today. Who needs to be a cutter when you have cats, huh? Oh, don't make fun, Richard. Anyway, guys, I want to reiterate this to anybody out there. If you're suffering from anxiety, I didn't really talk a lot about the anxiety and stuff, but it's kind of a hand in hand with depression a little bit. But if you suffer from anxiety, you suffer from depression, even if you're not sure if you do, don't fret. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Reach out to me if you need to. Message me in the comments. Message me on Facebook if you're a Facebook friend, or message me my email. The nerdlife at gmail.com. Whatever you need to do, dude. because you're not alone. You don't have to be alone, and you never will be alone if you're willing to reach out to somebody. If you're not willing and you're not um, willing to try, then you're gonna be stuck there alone for a while because you haven't reached that point where you're ready. And I just hope, and I hope beyond hope, that you can find that point. Whoever you are out there, if you know if it's you I'm talking to, listen to us hard. Find that point where you're willing to reach out to somebody and you're willing to ask for help or just talk about it before it's too late. I've had quite a few too many people in my life who didn't realize that, and it just became too late. And those of you out there who aren't suffering, but you know people who do, or quite possibly have a feeling or an urge or a draw or whatnot to reach out to somebody, don't be afraid to do it either. Part of the thing that I was dealing with a recent friend of mine who took his own life a year ago. How many times I wanted to reach out to him and say hello and say, hey, how's it going? And in moments I knew something was wrong, and I didn't even say, hey, dude, love you, brother. I hope everything's okay. Something as simple as that could have changed his mind, and he could still be around. He could have got to see his niece be born. But, or nephew. Oh, crap. I can't remember. Terrible person. No, anyway, niece. His niece. Yeah, all those moments that I could have reached out. Something I was dealing with recently is I had a friend of mine who, he didn't take his own life, but he was a good friend, man. He's one of my best friends growing up. We ended up going to separate high schools, but we still were like super close, man. And the anniversary of his death came up recently, and I kind of got stuck on that one day because I still remember it. He came over to my grandmother's house, left his phone number there because he was in town, because he lived in Arizona, and I never called him back, man. I never called him back. My grandmother gave me the phone number, and I never got back in touch with him, man. I kept saying, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, man, I gotta call him. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Oh, man, I really don't want to call right now because I'm not in the mood to talk to anybody, or I don't want to call because I don't want to go hang out or anything right now. If he happens to still be in town, I'll talk to him later, just say what's up, see how him and his wife are doing, his kids and stuff. I never did. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'd say a few months later, he was shot and killed. Came to a gas station or a convenience store or something like that. He was a security guard, and it happened to be being robbed, and he got shot and killed. So don't be afraid, or else you can sink even further down than you want to sink, man. Guys, I love you all, and I thank you so much. I'm fighting the struggle. I'm trying to come back to YouTube, something that made me happy. Trying to get this hobby. Doing these commissions really does help, building stuff, and just that's really helping me kind of get my focus back on the hobby stuff. So, but I'm trying to come back, trying to get the YouTube thing up and rolling again, because I miss talking to y'all. I miss watching all those videos, and I try to catch up with some of them as I can. I just miss it. Guys, I love you all, and I thank you so much. Again, reach out if you need help. Reach out with anybody. Reach out to anybody you think may need help. even if you just reach out to say hi, how's it going? You know, maybe that's enough for them to be like, oh, somebody cares, and they'll be able to open up. Guys, I love you all. I thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about the rambly longness of the video. Hopefully you've hung out through the whole thing. If not, that's fine. You wouldn't even hear this. Guys, I love you all. I thank you so much. Keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. I will see you next time.